going to have it back out there in 2023. So Oakmont going to be a part of the rota that the USGA is trying to create with U.S. Open courses. And this is the toughest test in all of golf.
Oh, yeah.
It is going to be tough. It is going to be brutal. There are questions out there. Hey, would you take even par right now? Would you take your chances? And a lot of pros going, yeah, I'll take even par right now. Sounds like it might. I have a tendency to think that maybe somebody sneaks under par. DJ did back in 2016 when he eventually won his only U.S. Open. But the golf course is going to be a huge star and a huge storyline throughout the course of the week.
The golf course is the U.S. Open, and it's the defending champion 9 times over out here. I think Oakmont is the greatest test in golf. I'll agree with your point. And I think that it is everything the U.S. Open wants to be and wants from the golf course. It's what's in front of you. It is fast greens. It's thick rough. And it tests every single club in your bag. Everything from drivable par 4s on the 17th hole to a par 3 that plays about 10 yards shorter than that 17th hole coming earlier in the round on the 8th hole. I absolutely love the layout of this golf course. I've never seen it in person. I've watched it many times on TV. I love the fact that you look at the history of the 9 previous U.S. Opens on this property, and you've had everything from 5 under win it to 5 over win it recently. And that goes to show that the course is the test. The course is what we are going to see. And it's going to take a true champion to come out. And I think it's a great equalizer out there. And I'm excited to see how the best in the world take it on. Let's just lay it out there. A lot of rain in the last couple of weeks in Pittsburgh. Thick rough. More rain is expected this upcoming weekend. And it's going to have more than just a little bit of bite to it against the best in the world.
Are you a fan of having a U.S. Open where over par potentially wins? We haven't had one since 2018. Brooks Koepka was 1 over par at Shinnecock Hills. And I feel like it's worth mentioning that was coming off of 2018, coming off of Erin Hills, when Brooks Koepka tied the under par scoring record at a U.S. Open at 16 under par. And it kind of felt like maybe the USGA did a little too much to that golf course to kind of manipulate it a little bit. I believe that is where Zach Johnson declared that they lost the golf course. I think I'm remembering that correct in an interview. Again, Brooks won that as a second consecutive U.S. Open. It's been, since then, since Erin Hills, Brooks won at 1 over par. Gary Woodland was 13 under at Pebble Beach. Bryson was 6 under at Winged Foot, but the only one under par. So he won that by 6. Matt Wolff finished at even par. John Rahm was 6 under par at Torrey. Matt Fitzpatrick was 6 under par at the Country Club. Wyndham 10 under par at LACC. And then last year, Bryson was 6 under at Pinehurst. Are you a fan of having that level par be something that is kind of what the goal is for a lot of these guys this week, where maybe over par could potentially win it?
Yeah, I think I definitely am, because this is what the U.S. Open wants to brand itself as, the toughest test in golf. And we're so accustomed to seeing these players get closer to 20 than closer to even in a lot of these tournaments that they play week in and week out. So why not throw a huge test at them? Why not put even more of an emphasis on hitting fairways and greens? And if you miss, you don't have a situation like we've seen at Valhalla or Quail Hollow where rough is keeping balls out of the water. If you miss, you miss. And you need to be penalized for that. And, we should be getting this more than 1 week out of the year. But
best of luck to you.
The fact that we're getting it this week at Oakmont should have every golf fan fired up about what they're going to witness, because, we all want a little carnage, right?
Yeah,
we want to see guys struggle. It makes for good television, good drama, and it's going to weed out the best in the world, which ultimately the U.S. Open is trying to hand the trophy over to the best in the world.
I guess what I become worried about is, does it become like Winged Foot, where they thought they were doing that at Winged Foot with the long rough that they had there, but length became a prerequisite again because everybody the fairways were so tight at Winged Foot. Everybody was missing them, even like the most accurate guys out there. So then it became, so distance is the most important thing. So you push it down there as far as you can. And Bryson was able to wedge it out, run it on a lot of these greens, which is why he was one under par. Or excuse me, the only one under par. Matthew Wolff, who is, again, for those who don't remember, since he's basically done nothing since he went over to live, hit it a long way.
Yeah,
like, he hits the ball a long way. I'm okay with the rough and kind of the circus nature that can bring in, and every pro under the sun I think has thrown out some sort of Oakmont rough content online at this point, and we've still got a day and a half before the tournament begins. But as long if it kind of levels the playing field a little bit, right? Like we talked about how Erin Hills for the women, like it wasn't. Yes, the length always helps. It's always a skill that's going to help. But it wasn't the prerequisite to be in contention at Erin Hills for the women, right? Like they were testing a lot of different areas of the game. And that's what I loved about Erin Hills. I hope that this can be similar, that you're testing everything, that, the length is going to be good. The length is certainly something that is always going to be helpful everywhere, but also it's not just, well, it's going to be the guys who hit the longest are going to be the ones at the top of the leaderboard when we get to Saturday and Sunday.
There's no defense of how long some of these guys are.
Mm-hmm.
There's no golf course that can put a guard up to a ball being carried 340 yards at this point. What you can do is trick out greens, and that's what Oakmont has.
Which,
right?
by the way, they don't have to really trick them out. They're just already insane, and then they're going to roll them at 14, which is crazy.
I feel like the rough is getting too much attention in comparison to what these greens are actually going to be like. I think it's more important to be a good putter than a driver of the golf ball this week at Oakmont.
Oh, especially long putts. So if you haven't done this, and I've already done this with Steven, but I can't believe I'm about to say what I'm about to say into a microphone.
Yeah, say it loud and proud, Gabe.
So the Bryson U.S. Open video that he has on his YouTube page, which posted like 5 days ago, I want to say, is really good. Like if you want to know what Oakmont is going to look like, and things are only going to get gnarlier. Like he played it, and the greens weren't as tricked out as they're going to be. Like he didn't play the greens rolling at a 14. That's coming this week. The rough, probably going to be pretty similar, and it's not going to be as cold when he played it. But it's a nice little primer if you want to know what Oakmont looks like as Bryson goes through all 18 holes, plays every shot, shows you every shot. He had a lot of long putts.
Yep.
Like there was one putt where he said, I got to hit this like it's 100 feet. He had another 60-plus foot putt over the course of his 18 holes. There were a lot of long putts because these greens are massive. They are huge. But they've got these little fingers and these little ridges where you can kind of tuck and hide pins. So yeah, I think having that deft touch with your putter, especially on some of those long leg putts and limiting 3 putts, because 3 putts are going to happen out there. They just are. But the putting is going to be a huge factor in this week as well.
And it's important to note 168 bunkers on property at Oakmont.
Oh, that's all?
Going to play a factor.
I mean, that's...
And how
compared to the straights, man, like 168 doesn't seem like it's that many.
That's fair. But I think the golf course it's gonna fight back, and I think that is why the USGA keeps going back to Oakmont, because the golf course is truly one of the great cathedrals in this sport, and it has held up over the test of time. And not many have held up in the same way that Oakmont has from a scoring standpoint. I mean, in 2016, DJ went out there and shot 4 under to win this thing. But the time before was Angel Cabrera in 2007 winning at 5 over. And I think that is so unique from a scoring standpoint. And the course is playing, I think, 7,300 yards as a par 70 this upcoming week. So it's going to be plenty long.
Yeah.
It's going to feature a lot of holes that are going to put professionals in uncomfortable positions, which we've already seen. I mean, like, we're so spoiled with the amount of content that we get now in this game from the players themselves that I think it only builds the drama for this upcoming weekend even more. When you talk about the types of shots that guys have to hit, whether that's wedges in this rough or whether that's having to take drivers on par 3s, it's going to be some electric television over the weekend, Gabe.
Yeah, I think that it's going to be great. because the players are going to be a little uncomfortable. It's going to be fantastic. I think it's going to be a lot of fun to watch. It seems like, especially since Mike Wan has taken over, I mentioned how it really felt tricked up the last time we were over par at Shinnecock in 2018. But it seems like the USGA is almost going and leaning into almost what the Open does. Like the Open is, hey, I think of the 2006 Open Championship that Tiger won, where basically everything was brown. Hey, it's been pretty dry over here. We're not watering the course a ton. It's just going to be firm and fast, and you're going to have these hard lies, and Tiger just hits iron everywhere and goes on to win an Open.
Yeah.
Or, they just kind of let the elements dictate what the winning score is going to be. Like when they played, when I think of 2015, when they had to play through some elements at the old course. But the last time they were at the old course and Cam Smith wins, it's, 20 under par because, unfortunately for them in that week, the wind didn't blow. It was pretty easy for these guys to attack all the different things that the old course typically would be asking if the weather was worse. Now, with Oakmont, they're going to throw the greens up to 14. That's just a part of having fast greens, is a part of testing men on the major side. But it also feels like they're just kind of letting the elements kind of dictate it. Like, they're going to have thick rough, but guess what? Oakmont has thick rough for its members.
I don't think it matters if it's going to be 80 and sunny this week or it's going to be 50 and windy. Mm-hmm. Like this golf course is going to be that hard.
It's hard. It's just hard. Like it just is. And so I'm cool with them going to these different ones where, okay, LACC is 10 under par, but this one could be closer to even par. Yeah. And if the wind blows, then it's definitely going to be over par because it's going to be so hard to control. So it seems like the USGA, they have hard golf courses that are a part of it, just part of what the USGA does. But I don't feel like they're going to do anything to trick out the golf course. Yeah. I don't think we're going to have somebody going, lost the golf course. It's a shame. We're not going to have Phil Mickelson running after a ball to tap it up the hill before it stops rolling like he did at Shinnecock. I just don't think we're going to see that. It's just, hey, this is what the golf course is. This is incredibly difficult. Best of luck to you, boys.
And the handshake is all they need, right? Like, I feel like we always get caught trying to compare courses, compare venues, compare scores, when you don't take in factors like weather and how wind might blow or not blow when a course is built for wind to blow. For Oakmont, I'm cool with it just being the shining jewel. Like, go out there, I dare you, and find out who's going to white-knuckle their way home through 4 rounds. And that's what sets Oakmont apart. That's what makes Oakmont Oakmont. And that's okay for it to be uniquely itself when you stack it up against past U.S. Open venues. I read this statistic that I have to read to you about Oakmont that is just mind-boggling. There have been over 1,300 players to compete in the U.S. Open at Oakmont.
Which makes sense because this is going to be the 10th time that Oakmont is hosting U.S. Open.
It's the 10th time. The next closest is Baltusrol. 7 times it's hosted. So it's hosted 3 more times than any other venue. 2% of those 1,300 have finished under par. 27 golfers in total, Gabe.
27 golfers? That's it?
Under
Ever?
par in the 9 previous U.S. Opens
That's
at Oakmont.
Sick. That's pretty sweet.
27
awesome.
of 1,300.
And the fun part is, so again, going back to the Bryson video. So he shot even par. But what was cool about it, he had opportunities. Like, there are opportunities to go out there and get birdie. He had 6 birdies. He also had 6 bogeys.
Yeah.
Which is why he ended up shooting even par. Like, if you execute, those birdies are out there, right? But it's just so hard to keep that level of execution going throughout the course of 18 rounds. You're going to have an oopsie. You're going to have a bogey. Probably going to have a double bogey at some point throughout the course of the week. Heck, we saw Rory have, 3 double bogeys?
He had 4 at Augusta.
Oh, 4 at Augusta. He had 4 at Augusta. He still won out on 1. I don't know if we're going to see the winner have 4 double bogeys this time around because it's going to be that much harder to make up the opportunities, and not a lot of eagles necessarily out there with just 2 par 5s, which may play like true par 5s.
Yeah.
They're going to be big boy holes. I guess the best way to say it is Oakmont is fair. I think Oakmont is a fair golf course. There's nothing hidden out there. It's all pretty much in front of you. A couple of blind shots, but you do your homework. You get out there yesterday, today, Wednesday. It's all out there.
Yep. If you want to take on a big number off the tee, you're going to hit it to a short window.
Yeah.
But
again, if you pull off the shot, now you got a wedge in your hand. Now these big greens with these little pins tucked, now you can be aggressive to them, and that's when those birdies can happen.
Yeah, you can plot your way around by going 240 off the tee and then 190 in, and or you can try and put wedge in your hand and try and make some birdies.
When are you going to be aggressive? When are you not going to be aggressive?
It's a chess match.
Yes.
That I feel like very few golf courses on planet Earth offer this type of test. And I think that as a fan, you should be excited to not just watch, but listen. With the technology that we have right now, listen to those caddy conversations that you're going to get. These guys are going to have to map their way through this golf course shot by shot in a way that not many other golf courses test them. And man, it's going to be fun. I even, from the first hole through 18, the first hole played as the hardest to par in all of 2016. The first hole. Think about how many golf courses are designed to be a handshake. And number one at Oakmont was the hardest to par.
The back nine is going to be easier than the front nine. Not to say that any of it's easy, but I think there are more scoring opportunities on the back. Because the front also has hole number 8, and we'll talk more about par 3s and lengths and all that sort of thing. But yeah, you kind of got to really hold on that front side and then hope to find a couple of scoring opportunities in the back. And I do want to say this as well. We love the Erin Hills logo, and it's probably my favorite logo. I think the squirrel from Oakmont's my second favorite. That's a sick logo.
Yeah, it's a good one.
That's a good, I would have a hard time walking into the merch tent at Oakmont if I were on site this week and not walking out with a ton of stuff, because that is a cool logo.
My brother was there yesterday,
practice
round, because he lives outside of Pittsburgh, and he texted me a number, and I said, yeah, pretty easy to get to that number in the merch tent.
You don't mean for it to happen, Steven.
Yeah.
It just, you grab a couple of things, and next thing you know...
Yeah, I start buying stuff for the kid. Don't get me going.
Just gets away from you quickly. So many other things we're going to get to on our U.S. Open preview here on the tee, but I do want to tell you about our friends at Wisconsin Country Club. Steven and I, we're members out there. So join. Maybe you can hang out with us out there. Steven's playing better golf out there than just about anybody, apparently.
Yeah, I had 2 rounds in the books, and maybe my 2 best rounds in the last 2 years out there. I'm a little terrified, Gabe. I'm peaking early.
What was the number of the first round?
73,
yeah,
76.
Yeah. All of a sudden, he's just throwing out 73s. Seriously, Steven hadn't played for, almost a month?
Yeah.
3 weeks?
Steven, how am I getting out more than you?
Called kids, Josh.
Good point.
Speaking of kids, Wisconsin Country Club, a good place for the kids.
Took my kids out there. We had a blast.
Yes.
I got my daughter to keep her attention for 1 hole.
That's just, again, that's just what, to me, what's great about a country club and joining a private club is being able to have that family atmosphere, have that family aspect that Steven's taking his kids out there. But also, again, they've got the pool, Sunday Fun Day. Maybe you want tennis, pickleball. All those are options out at Wisconsin Country Club. So get started today. Check it out. TheWisconsinCountryClub.com, just a fairway away.
Back to the course and on the tee with Gabe and Steven after this on 94.5 ESPN. The Packers and Jair Alexander are no more.
Is this going to be the case where we're going to look back and say, man, did Green Bay really screw up by cutting Jair Alexander?
You don't release a guy like Jair unless you feel comfortable at that position. Now, are they good enough is a whole different debate.
94.5 ESPN is your home for all Packers off-season news. Stay up to date on the new ESPN Wisconsin app or at ESPN Milwaukee on YouTube. The big gig is back, starting June 19th. 9 days, hundreds of musical acts. Summerfest in Milwaukee is the event of the summer. Plus, tune into 94.5 ESPN all 3 weekends for Summerfest Saturday. Enter for your chance to win tickets to the ESPN Wisconsin app or visit summerfest.com. We'll see you out there.
Hey, it's Jason Wilde, and Father's Day is Sunday, June 15th. Get Dad something he can really enjoy. Kringle from Racine Danish Kringles. Order at Kringle.com and send Dad his favorite flavor, like their bourbon pecan. That's my favorite. To complete the gift, you can add a bag of gourmet coffee to your order, and you will be Dad's favorite child. Go to Kringle.com or call 800-4DANISH and have it shipped right to Dad. Kringle.com or 800-4DANISH. Racine Danish Kringles. It's not just a treat, it's a tradition.
I'm Monica Kessler.
Monica makes sure that everything at Kessler's is worthy of a lifetime warranty.
The quality of your ring is incredibly important when it comes to diamond setting, ring sizing, and repairs.
Monica has been part of Kessler's since she was 6 years old.
Let me tell you how to judge the quality of the jewelry you're buying.
It's easier than you think.
All you have to do is read the warranty.
Most stores offer a 5-year warranty, but Kessler's offers a lifetime warranty, the strongest in the world.
We can do it because we put more gold in your jewelry.
When a jeweler wants to make a bigger profit, they put less gold into the jewelry. This makes it thinner and easier to break.
Theirs might look like ours at first glance, but Kessler's jewelry is made not to break, and that takes more gold.
We give you a lifetime warranty because our jewelry is made to last forever, just like your love.
Gold is more than $2,000 an ounce.
Kessler's gives you more gold, a lot more gold.
For the location of the Kessler's nearest you, go to KesslersDiamonds.com.
Milwaukee just got hotter. Announcing the buys of summer at Ewald Automotive Group. Get the lowest prices guaranteed on new vehicles. We'll beat your best price by $500 or we'll pay you $500 cash. Guaranteed. With over 1,500 vehicles to choose, you're sure to find the perfect ride for your family. 11 brands, 10 locations, one easy experience. Don't miss Ewald's Buys of Summer sales event going on now.
Go to ewaldauto.com.
See dealer for details. Expires month end.
Stay up to date on the Green and Gold all off season. The Green and Gold Fix podcast is brought to you by Potawatomi Casino Hotel. Luxury stay, elite play, unwind in sophisticated comfort. Win big, dine, and experience the events in Milwaukee.
Forget average. At Exterior Pros, they bring the heat. They're not here to meet standards. They're here to smash them. From the first swing of the hammer to the final reveal, they're leveling up your home with every window, every shingle, and every single detail. This isn't just a remodel. It's a glow up for your house. Built tough, built beautiful, built to turn heads. Want in? Let's go. Lock in your project now and save $3,000. Exterior Pros, where bold meets built. Trust the pros and visit extpros.com or call 262-800-4274.
Do you worry about how much someone drinks?
Do you feel neglected or unloved? If you answered yes to any of these questions, you are not alone.
Al-Anon and Alateen can help. Call 1-866-200-0223 or visit alanon.org/help.
You're listening to On the Tee with Gabe Neitzel and Stephen Watson on 94.5 ESPN.
A lot of the pre-tournament oxygen has been going to the 8th hole at Oakmont, heading into the 125th U.S. Open, Stephen. And that's because hole 8 is a par 3, listed as 289 yards.
Come again?
289-yard par 3, number 8 at Oakmont. It's a big hole. And to the point where even before the tournament, like a month ago, you had guys like Justin Thomas saying, oh, any par 3 over 250 yards is dumb. Like, you can't show me a good par 3 over 250 yards. Victor Hovland, this is just dumb. I kind of love it. Because, again, the U.S. Open, whether it's the men's or the women's, like when we were talking with Mike Wan, what's the one thing the U.S. Open always says they want to test?
The 14 clubs in your bag and the one between your ears.
Yeah, I mean, it is just like a sing-song. Like, everybody knows that phrase at the USGA, and they're going to say it when they're giving an interview at some point.
Yeah, it's going to be etched into their gravestone.
But that's what a 289-yard par 3 does.
Yeah.
Because realistically, I mean, again, this could be a deeper conversation, especially when you're playing a tournament golf. Like, par doesn't really matter. It's okay. How many? It's about how many strokes, right? Like, yeah, you could turn that into a par 4, and everyone's, oh yeah, such a great hole. Because it's a par 4 instead of a par 3, because then you can get it and make a birdie. No, here's the hole. The challenge always is, doesn't matter if it's a par 5, par 4, par 3, how many strokes can you get it into the hole in?
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, there's not going to be too many birdies on a 289-yard par 3.
It's going to play to 300 one day.
Without a doubt.
In 2007.
Yes,
they stretched it out.
Without a doubt. But who cares? The question is, how many strokes is it going to take you to get the ball in the hole on this particular? And that's where, if Xander was playing better, I might want to pick him just because of the answer he gave earlier this week when he was talking about the long par 3 8th at Oakmont.
Yeah, I mean, it's just a golf hole. I mean, if you could just peel par away from it, you just figure out how best to make a score on it. I think, you might hurt a few egos if you see guys putting a driver or some long clubs in there. But at the end of the day, I mean, however you feel like you're going to make the best score there is how you should play it, whether it's laying up with an iron out to the right and trying to wedge it close or, being aggressive with the driver. However you feel like you can make a good score is how you should play the hole.
It's that simple. Like, you don't let it freak you out. Don't let it psych you out. Who cares if you got to hit a driver into the hole? You got to hit a driver into the hole.
How would you play that hole?
I mean, it's probably driver. It's probably driver, especially when you hear, some guys talking about how maybe to play it, because we got to hear that conversation. You've talked about listening into conversations. Colin Morikawa with his caddy Joe Griner during a practice round, they were talking about how best to attack this hole.
That bunker too, you got to cover.
That's what you are playing. You honestly, if you were trying to make this possible, because it's the widest area. 303 back edge. I mean, let's just see what it is. It's the perfect club. You don't look very comfortable.
I'm just trying to figure out what shot I'm going to hit right now. I feel like I need to take a little off.
Yeah, you got to hit a little spinny.
So, conversation between Griner and Morikawa, where Griner told him, if you heard that, Griner saying, hey, widest area of this green is 300 yards. You have to hit driver. Xander even chimed in. They were playing together. Yeah, it's driver. But you could tell Colin Morikawa was just uncomfortable with the thought of having to hit driver into par 3. And I love it. I absolutely love it, because I guarantee you. Now, this won't happen, I think, to the best players in the world, right? Like, if the wind's blowing and you have to hit driver, like, Scotty will hit driver. Rory will hit driver. Bryson will hit driver. If that's what it requires, the best players in the world will.
Rory and Bryson probably hit 3 wood. But
yeah, but if they had to, they would.
Yeah.
I guarantee you there's going to be someone this week who just cannot convince themselves to hit driver when they need to on that hole. Because we just saw it at the British Open last year when the rain was coming down sideways and everything was going crazy at the Open on Saturday last year. Like, some guys were just like, yeah, I couldn't convince myself to hit driver there when you needed to hit driver because the wind was whipping.
Yeah.
In order for a chance to get to a spot, right? So somebody's going to be like, no, it's a par 3, I can't hit driver.
I mean, it's relatable to an everyday golfer. It's just a hit to the ego. And you're already making excuses in your head before you stand on the tee box. Like, you could even hear Colin Morikawa say, I got to take a little off it.
Well, first of all, that's why you have to hit driver, right? Like, because even if you come up, I took too much off of it.
Yeah.
Oh, I just took too much off of it. Instead of, like, trying to step on a 3-wood or whatever you would have to do, hitting my mini driver, because so many of these guys have the mini driver now. But I just love that there is a hole that is going to freak these guys out. And again, Xander, he is one of the best players in the world when he's going right. And he's still, I think, kind of coming back from the injury that he had with his thumb. But he's got the right attitude. Just, who cares, man? It's a golf hole.
Yeah.
Go hit golf shots and try to get it in the hole in as few shots as possible.
And you better believe that that's strategic from Xander.
Yeah.
Sitting on that podium. He knows what he's trying to do. He's trying to weed him out. JT said the same thing. When, asked about that hole, he goes, I hope they're intimidated.
Well, see, that's funny because he was one of the people who was like, oh, this is a dumb hole.
Yeah.
Oh, it's stupid.
He was more about the Oakmont test, and he referenced the 8th hole. He's like, I hope they are intimidated because that means I've already won.
But he might be one of those guys.
Yeah.
And honestly, that's going back to Brooks Koepka and the reason why he's got 5 majors. That's something he talked about all the time, where guys would just talk themselves out of majors, and he thought it was easier to win majors than on the PGA Tour because some of these guys who are really good will just talk themselves out of it.
Yeah, just didn't feel like they belonged.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden, they're starting 5 strokes back.
Mm-hmm.
I think the 8th hole is great. For a while, the lead up, I was like, this is kind of stupid. Why are we playing into the hole? These guys are so long and make that gap even farther. You know, the not so big hitter right here sitting in this chair gets emotional about holes that are designed for big hitters, you know? But the more I think about it, I'm just like, kind of like Oakmont. It's what it is.
Yeah.
And you got to go figure it out.
And I don't think they're trying to go, oh, yeah, everybody's hitting it so long, so we got to do this now. I think it's honestly the folks at Oakmont and the folks at the USGA going, all right, how mentally tough are you?
Yeah.
Because, again, if you have to, like...
It's the same for every player in the field.
Like Xander said, okay, lay it up, wedge it close, make your 3 that way. He's the best players in the world.
Yeah.
And if you make a 4, who cares? A lot of people are going to be making 4 on that hole. Not going to be a lot of 2s. If you're making a 4, you're not going to be losing a lot to the field.
No surprise that it was the toughest green to hit in both 2007 and 2016.
Yes.
What percentage of golfers do you think hit the 8th green in 2016?
I will say 48%.
36%. And in 2007, 27% hit the green.
Yes. Yes. This is what I'm talking about. Because, again, like too much on the PGA Tour, it's become... And we've heard guys like Tyrrell Hatton talk about this at places like Augusta, right? Because sometimes at Augusta, well, I hit the ball right next to the pin. That should be a good shot. Not there.
Yeah.
No, you got to use the contours. You got to be able to use and play these different shots in order to get your ball next to the hole. It's not about hitting your ball right there. It's about getting your ball to finish right there. And it's just one of those things where we're used to, I should be able to hit par 5s and 2 and be able to, have a birdie putt on all these par 3. No, man. Golf ain't like that all the time. Golf's certainly not like that for every player out there that usually plays, which is why I think the U.S. Open, at least when I was growing up in like the 90s and early 2000s, was such a popular event because it normalized these guys.
Yeah.
And you get to see them, okay, well, what do you got to do when you're staring down now an 80-yard shot for number 3 as you're trying to get up and down to save your 4? A lot of guys got to do that every weekend when they're playing because they hit a ball offline. And it's just a little more relatability.
We're golf sickos, but we're truly sickos on weeks like this because we want to watch the struggle.
Yeah. And I want to see how you respond to the struggle.
Yeah.
Because that's the type of player that can win. Can you grind it out? Can you be a grinder?
Yeah.
And honestly, I want to find that out about Scotty Scheffler.
Yeah.
Because Scotty's been a great front runner. He has won the 3 majors he's won them going away. Right? Doesn't get really challenged that much on the back nine at Sunday. By the time we got to the end of, famously got to 4-putt at the Masters for his first one, ran away from everybody on the back nine, and just played solidly doing his second one, and did the same thing this last,
at Quail Hollow.
At Quail Hollow. Like, he just ran away and hid. So, okay, they got to grind this one out just a little bit more.
8's going to get a lot of the headlines of the par 3s out there, but I'd be remiss if I didn't mention the 6th hole, 200 yards. 13th hole is the shortest at 182, and the 16th hole, 236.
Okay, how mentally tough are you? I love it. It's going to be fun, and if you're a true golf sicko, I think you're going to enjoy it as well. Still more to come as we preview Oakmont. Who are the favorites? Who would we not bet on? Plus, let's take a look at some of those tee times coming up next. But, of course, one place around here that's hosted a U.S. Open, Erin Hills Golf Digest 10th ranked public course in the nation, charming overnight accommodations, and a championship golf experience. And what makes Erin Hills special, modern course, but the foundations were laid eons ago. Not a lot of dirt was moved to make that golf course, which makes it so special right here in the state of Wisconsin. Erin Hills, championship golf in Wisconsin. Plan your trip at erinhills.com.
No ifs, ands, or putts. There's more On the Tee with Gabe and Steven coming up on 94.5 ESPN.
Hey, Hey, it's your resident Super Bowl champ, Chris Canty here. Light up the night with Glow Motion, the all-new flavor from 5 Hour Energy. It's a fruity burst in a bottle that glows under UV light. Glow Motion has as much caffeine as a premium cup of coffee and 0 sugar, just what you need to stay up celebrating your team winning a championship. And at only 2 ounces, it's perfect for runners, ravers, and anyone who refuses to stop. So whether you're dancing, gaming, or just flexing your vibe, Glow Motion shines. Literally, 5 Hour Energy Glow Motion is available online. Head to 5hourenergy.com and order yours today.
The peace lily is so last year. Hey, has anyone worked with fiddlenecks?
Shelby's popular flower shop is in full bloom.
We just got a request for an arrangement that evokes air. Who's up for that challenge? No?
She needs to hire a floral designer to nip foliage faux pas in the bud.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. Our advanced matching helps find talented candidates so you can connect with them fast. Redeem your $75 credit at Indeed.com/credit. Terms and conditions apply.
Great impressions will exceed your expectations. Great impressions, perceptions, everything.
At Great Impressions Graphics and Printing, they've been proudly serving the community for over 26 years. From their location at the corner of 54th and Burleigh in Milwaukee, their dedication to quality and customer satisfaction has made them a trusted name in printing and design. Great Impressions offer a wide range of services, including banners, posters, yard signs, business cards, programs, and postcards. Plus, they specialize in custom apparel printing, perfect for family reunions, sports outings, business promotions, and more. For your next project, visit greatimpress.com. That's greatimpress.com. Great Impressions. They're here when you need them.
Great impressions, perceptions, everything.
Here in Wisconsin, one name is synonymous with fantastic frozen pizza, Palermo's. For almost 60 years, Palermo's has focused on feeding Wisconsin families. And though Palermo's has grown a lot since 1964, they're still family-owned. They're still proud to call Milwaukee home. And they're still committed to making the best frozen pizza possible. From their new and improved rising crust pizzas to their guilt-free Primo thin pies, Palermo's has a delicious slice for every appetite. Find Palermo's in your local grocer's freezer food aisle. Palermo's, flavor is our family's business.
Coors Light presents To Chill or Not to Chill. When your friend skips your favorite song on the playlist. End the friendship. Or choose chill because that song lives rent-free in your head anyway. And you planned ahead by bringing Coors Light to the party. And the sound of that ice-cold can cracking open was music to your ears already. Coors Light. Choose chill. Celebrate responsibly. 2024 Coors Brewing Company, Golden, Colorado.
Hi, Drew and Jonathan Scott here, reminding you that a lot of life's firsts are better with help from American Family Insurance. Like your first home expansion or your first big lightning strike. There's a first for everything. Get the right home policy at the right price with the right help from American Family's agents. Life's better when you're under American Family's roof. Insure carefully, dream fearlessly. Get a quote and find an agent at amfam.com.
Products not available in every state. American Family Mutual Insurance Company SI and its operating company 6000 American Parkway, Madison, Wisconsin.
Hurt by a truck? Call Gruberg Law Offices. One call, that's all.
For general contest rules, visit ESPNWisconsinContest.com.
1 in 10 young adults will experience a form of homelessness this year.
For over 50 years, Covenant House has been helping youth in crisis. To learn more, go to covenanthouse.org today.
This is On the Tee with Gabe Neitzel and Stephen Watson on 94.5 ESPN.
Bit of breaking news. Feel like I should just get this out there, even though, again, this is On the Tee. Gabe Neitzel, Stephen Watson. You usually catch Stephen like you can tonight, Brewers Live, among PGA Tour Live, Bucks Live, all that good stuff that Stephen also does. My guess is you guys might have a segment, for Jacob Mizorowski tonight, as Jeff Passan of ESPN.com reporting that he is being called up by the Brewers, and he is expected to start Thursday against division rival St. Louis.
Yeah, the Miz throws gas over 100 miles an hour.
103 mile an hour is what he's been clocked at, his fastest pitch this year.
Yeah, I mean, depth is never something that you can have too much of at the pitching position. And, the reports say, we'll find out later today what Pat Murphy has to say, that he's going to be in line to start on Thursday, the first game of that Cardinals series. And, man, what he's doing in the minors right now is special. This is a guy that they've had their eye on for a couple of years. I know fans have wanted it up for multiple years. This is a guy that could have some staying power in Milwaukee, a frontline starter for them if he gets it going. And it's an exciting opportunity for the Brewers to see what they have in Jacob Mizorowski.
Well, the funny thing about the 103 is it's not like the first pitch of the game, right? He doesn't come out firing, 103, start the game. Usually he's still hitting those triple-digit numbers, or I've seen a couple of times where he's hit triple digits in like the 6th or 7th inning.
Yeah.
Which is the crazy part.
We could tie this all into golf here quickly.
Oh, baby. How are you going to do this, Josh?
Which professional athletes are the best golfers, aside, obviously, from golfers? I'm leaning towards baseball or hockey players. They seem to be the best when you put a club in their hands.
And it's not even, I would specify pitchers.
Yeah, pitchers.
Really?
Pitchers have the schedule for it.
Mm-hmm.
Certainly.
a lot of the everyday position players don't get an opportunity to golf in season just because of the daily grind. I know a lot of Brewers pitchers, present and past, have taken advantage of the Wisconsin golf courses in the area. Pitching every 5th day, they get on their schedule and have a lot of mornings free in between starts. I'll tell you what, though, golfers just have the natural golf sweeping swing. Hockey players have the natural golf sweeping swing that I think that probably there's better hockey players. There might be more baseball players playing. But hockey players, it just comes natural to them.
One of the best players I know, like personally, is a former hockey player who I get to play with on occasion. He played in the minors and now is a coach in the NHL. So he's. I think of a video I just saw with Rory McIlroy and Colin Morikawa. They did a promotional video for TaylorMade. They put it up on TaylorMade's YouTube page where they're talking about driving, and how Colin's one of the most accurate drivers out there, and Rory bombs it and kind of the different approaches. And when Rory's talking about like transitioning and getting through the ball, he says, this is almost like a hockey slap shot, the way, he kind of separates his hands about how he's trying to turn his body and get through it. And that's kind of what he's talking about in terms of hitting it that long way. But then those hockey players, so many of them have such soft hands too.
Yeah.
Like around the green, the short games are just impressive.
Yeah, I mean, because you think about it from like a baseball swing standpoint, a lot of golfers end up being choppers.
Yeah.
So their misses are big. And I just think that the way that like a hockey slap shot, just the way you can drive a club through that long sweeping swing, it just fits hockey players.
Yeah, after you retire as a baseball guy, I think, because honestly, that's where a lot of my power came from, because you're doing a lot of rotational workouts, right? The core, the hips, like a lot of the base is where a lot of that power comes from in the baseball swing. It's the same thing in the golf swing in terms of where that power comes from. It's just, okay, you have to train it to be at a little bit of a different motion. So I think once, especially those position players, those hitters retire and get that little bit of a different motion, then they can, now you've got the prerequisite of power. It's just harnessing and honing that in.
If you were to go take BP, would you just be popping everything out right now just because you have a golf swing?
Funny you ask.
Funny you should ask that.
Oh.
I was taking some swings in a cage for the first time in, probably 10 years. Shout out to my boy Ben Haas. I was hanging out at his house, his kid. Shout out to Cooper, very talented baseball player for Brookfield East, just finished his sophomore season. And he has built like a baseball playground in his backyard. He's got a batting cage that he's throwing to kids all the time. They've got a pitcher's mound. May or may not have been hanging out with a couple of former Brewers and former Packers in that backyard. And then Ben started throwing us some BP after a couple of pops on Saturday night.
Okay.
Taking some cuts in the cage.
Sounds like a post-Lombardi celebration.
It was a good time.
Gabe, do you think your total amount of golf swings has eclipsed your total amount of baseball swings?
Oh, without a doubt.
Yeah.
Without a doubt. Because I haven't played, the last hardball game I played in would have been 2008.
Yeah, I'm just trying to put together, like, I don't know how long you've been golfing, but I imagine there was a lot of swings taken of Gabe from age 8 to, 22?
In baseball, yeah. Yeah, but even there's just still a lot of golf from, 10 10 till 14, 15.
Yeah.
And then not a lot from 15 to 22.
Right.
Because you just didn't have time because I was playing baseball all the time. But yeah, not a lot of baseball swings from the age of 22 on, and a lot more golf swings in the last 17 years, for sure.
Yeah, I think you got to have more golf swings at this point.
Yeah, because like today, I'm going right from this show. I'm going out to the club. I'm going to get some swings in on the range. So,
yeah, range alone. I mean, you're a range rat.
I do. Yeah, I love going to the range. I love hitting balls there and working on a bunch of different stuff.
That's good.
All right, we've got some other things we want to get to preview the U.S. Open. We'll go through the tee times as those were released earlier today. That's coming up next on the tee.
Forget about changing that dial. More On the Tee with Gabe and Steven next on 94.5 ESPN.
Awarded Best of Weddings 2023 by The Knot, The Bog is much more than world-class golf. Our clubhouse ballroom offers floor-to-ceiling windows and a breathtaking full-wall fireplace. Our barn venue was inspired by the on-site barn at Hole 6, built in the 1800s. 2 outdoor ceremony sites and a variety of personalized options. Our venues are perfect for family get-togethers, weddings, showers, graduation parties, or any event you are hosting. Call The Bog at 262-292-0740 or visit thebarnofthebog.com.
My house has a new glow. I love my windows. Universal Windows Direct.
Hey, it's Kyle Walson. Right now, UWD is running their home improvement season sale. Payments as low as $99 a month or no payments and no interest for an entire year. Call 414-410-2000 or go to universalwindowsdirect.com.
I love my windows. They've got that brand new home effect. Universal Windows Direct.
This is Kevin Moret from Mentality. Every day is a silent competition, and with testosterone dropping 1% annually, you're fighting an uphill battle. Your colleagues notice when you lose your edge, your partner senses when your confidence wavers, and without addressing low T, you're set up to fail. No willpower can overcome this hormonal deficit. Mentality's FDA-approved treatments have shown a 30% increase in testosterone levels. Don't let low T define you. Reclaim your power at mentalityhealth.com/radio. That's mentalityhealth.com/radio.
At Potawatomi, where ways to win are endless, another chance to capture epic cash and prizes comes Friday, June 27th. It's the season finale blockbuster drawings. Watch your entries from Enchanted Spins, Unreal Treasures, and Boundless Bounty come together for drawings where $300,000 in cash and prizes is there for the taking. Be there to win your share. June 27th only at Potawatomi Casino Hotel, Milwaukee. More info online. Must be 21 years old to play.
Don't miss Cherry Pie this Wednesday at the Bud Pavilion's free concert series, Wednesday Night Live. State Fair Park gates open Wednesday night at 6, with Cherry Pie taking the stage at 7. Epic bands, unforgettable nights. It's Wednesday Night Live at the Bud Pavilion.
You're back at the gym. Your new gym outfit? On point. Your new sneakers? Baller. You've got this. Just like Associated Bank's got you with Access Checking. It's maintenance fee free with no minimum balance requirements. So when you take your first yoga class in 10 months, your body might surprise you, but your checking account won't. You've got this with Access Checking from Associated Bank. See associatedbank.com/checking or ask a banker for details. Member FDIC.
Summertime is the time for all the big events. Weddings, milestone birthdays, even corporate events. Elevate every event with Noble Catering, a premier craft caterer in southeastern Wisconsin, preferred by over 30 venues. Noble Catering is also the exclusive caterer of Villa Terrace, an East Side event treasure. And coming in 2026, Noble's new headquarters, a 400-person event venue in the heart of Bayview called Brixton's Turn. Book them for your event at noblecateringco.com.
Every child deserves a safe, loving, and permanent home. Help the Dave Thomas Foundation for Adoption find families for children who've lingered in foster care the longest. Learn more at davethomasfoundation.org.
It's On the Tee with Gabe Neitzel and Stephen Watson on 94.5 ESPN.
18 unforgettable holes on 250 acres of natural private land, The Bog provides the ultimate golf experience. Book your next tee time. Call 262-284-7075 or visit golfthebog.com. Enjoy golf. Enjoy The Bog. Of course, we're going to be enjoying The Bog next month for the ESPN Milwaukee Open, the U.S. Open going on this week, which is why Steven and I are on right now. We're taking you up until 2 o'clock in the start of KBN. But tee times are out, Steven. What is the group? What is the marquee group that caught your eye when you saw the tee times this morning?
Low key, kind of loving the McIlroy, Lowry, and Rose. You know, the buddies.
I was about to say the European Ryder Cup team, basically.
Truly. But, you know, the duel at Augusta between Rory and J. Rose and then Lowry, it seems like the tour and the majors are loving putting the Irishmen together in Rory and Lowry. I like that group. Hard to ignore, you know, whenever Scotty's in there in the mix with a marquee group. He's playing with Hovland, correct?
Yep, and Morikawa.
That's probably your signature group of all of them. Then I know past champions group, Spieth, DJ, Rahm is a good one. I'm fascinated by Spieth every week, but this week in particular, Gabe, something's giving me this feeling, and I know that feeling is usually saved for you when we're talking about the Jordan Spieth experience, but I just have this weird Jordan's going to be in the hunt feeling.
Well, because this is a place where you need to make magical pars. And who makes more magical pars than Jordan Spieth?
Truly.
I was going to say, are we just talking about how he can seemingly save himself from the most absurd bad shots?
He literally almost killed the man. Killed the man at the Memorial and saved par.
Shouldn't have been standing there.
That guy should have been standing. Literally. Like, how can you be familiar with Jordan Spieth and his game and be standing where those people were standing? And by the way, one of them got video of it just whizzing past their head, which was hilarious.
He's definitely one on the power rankings of I don't want to be near him on that second shot.
Like, no, you want to be standing behind him.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, well, yeah. I will stand behind him all day long.
I want to listen. I want it mic'd up. I just don't want to be anywhere in the path of that golf ball.
So we have been on an unbelievable run of major champions. Could somebody, because, again, Jordan's more of a name than he is an actual contender at this point. Yeah. Like, he's still a really good player. I kind of, at this point, he's playing solidly enough. I would almost expect him to make the Ryder Cup team as a captain's pick.
Agreed.
But he hasn't been, like, truly a contender. Right? It's been a while since he's been truly contending.
Played pretty well
at a major.
Memorial, right?
Yeah, he did. And then, of course, I mean, almost killing a guy on the first hole, he kind of faded down the leaderboard. He has been playing well.
And Memorial is as close of a test as what you're going to see at Oakmont.
But because of Oakmont and the difficulty, and everybody's going to have a trip up, is this where that run of unbelievable major winners kind of comes to an end? Do we get a surprise winner here at Oakmont?
No. The cream rises in this. And when we talked about at the top of the show, just the mental test that this place presents, that is ultimately what separates the top 5 players in the world or in this field from the rest. I think we're getting a big name come Sunday afternoon because of the focus and that 15th club that Mike Wan likes to talk about, the one between your ears. That's what separates. These guys are so skilled. So many of these guys hit the ball so far. So what is the separator? It's the will. It's the ability to lock in and not be fazed by that bogey or by that double that we saw Rory make 4 of at Augusta before, holding on tight to finish and winning in a playoff.
And to that point, again, the champions that have won here, Dustin Johnson won in 2016. Now, that was his breakthrough moment, but DJ, number 1 player in the world.
That was his major win.
Yeah. That was his breakthrough as a major. That's what I'm saying. But, before that,
he should have won in 2010 at Whistling Straits. But
he should have won at the...
He's had a lot of chances before that.
Should have won at Pebble Beach.
Was he number 1 in the world at that point? He was pretty close.
He was pretty close.
In 16.
Yeah. If he wasn't, he was pretty close. Like, it was, man, when's DJ going to win one? Obviously, one there would go on. So he ended up being a multiple major winner. Angel Cabrera, multiple-time major winner. Don't have to talk about how good of a dude that guy is, but he's a multiple-time major winner. His golf credentials cannot be questioned. 1994, Ernie Els. Yeah, Ernie's pretty good. He's a Hall of Famer.
I mean, him and VJ probably 1 and 2 in the world at that point, right before Tiger stepped onto the scene.
Before that, Larry Nelson won in 1983, won 3 majors. Like these are, again, going back, 40-plus years at this point, these are the types of guys that have won at Oakmont previously. Johnny Miller, famously in 1973.
Shot a 63 out there.
Yeah. So, to your point, the cream has typically risen to the top at this golf course where you haven't had the, can't believe he won there type of thing where, again, those are all really good players.
Do I think we're going to have a similar situation to what we saw at Quail Hollow? Probably, because I just think there's so many good golfers right now. Mm-hmm. There are going to be good scores on Thursday and Friday. There are going to be some surprises that find themselves playing into the weekend and maybe on the first page of that leaderboard come Saturday morning on moving day. But if you have these top guys just kind of lurking, I think ultimately their ability to stay in the moment and not allow the big mistake to define their championship is what's going to separate them. And I still think we're talking about a top 5, I'll even go top 10 player in the world winning this thing.
Just a couple other groups. Bryson is with Jose Luis Ballester, defending U.S. Open champ, defending amateur champ, which is something the U.S. Open tends to do as well. And then Xander Schauffele rounding out that group. It's a pretty good group for Jose Luis to be in. And then do want to make note, Brooks and JT playing together along with Min-Woo Lee.
Yeah, that's going to be a fireworks group.
And then our guy, Harrison Ott, he's in the last group off on hole number 10 to start on Thursday. So it'll be the last group out.
Yeah, last group, first group. That's the welcome to Oakmont treatment.
Oh, who are you? Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Congratulations on qualifying, bud.
Hey, man, he's floating in the Pittsburgh area right now.
Oh, I can't imagine.
And if you missed that interview, listen back to On the Tee on Wisconsin On Demand. We had Harrison less than 24 hours after he was able to qualify for the U.S. Open, playing in his first major, outdueling names like Homa, Cameron Young, Ricky Fowler to get a guaranteed spot. Young would end up getting in a playoff. But, man, kid from Brookfield, played at Vanderbilt. He's one of 2 Wisconsin, born players that are going to be playing in this U.S. Open. And thrilled for him. And why not? Why not, Gabe? Maybe Harrison Ott finds himself there come Thursday.
I mean, if he makes the cut.
Maybe the weather's bad in that morning wave on Thursday and he catches a break.
Yeah, he goes off at 1:42. 1:42 off 10 is the last tee time of the day at Oakmont. Locally, our time, Central Time, 5:45 a.m. first tee times. So, wake up. Throw on USA. Have a little golf have a little coffee with your golf before you head to Newark on Thursday and on Friday. We're going to go through some of those favorites. We're going to dive deep into the Scotties, the Rahms, the Brysons, the Rorys, all coming up, hour 2 of our U.S. Open preview on the tee.
Summerfest is almost here, and we're going to send you to all 9 days. It's Summerfest on us. Download the ESPN Wisconsin app and register for your chance to bring a friend and have the best summer ever at the big gig. Summerfest on us. Register today in the ESPN Wisconsin app under the Contest tab. It's time for the Milwaukee Baseball Report on 94.5 ESPN. Brought to you by National Liquor Mart. Packed with the best beer, liquor, seltzer, and spirits deals in town. Located at 16th and National in Milwaukee. Open 9 a.m. to 9 p.m. daily, where your satisfaction is their plan of action.
The Brewers, one of the hottest teams in baseball heading into the weekend, taking on one of the National League's best in the San Diego Padres. And it was a battle for all 3 games. Unfortunately, though, the Padres come away winning 2 of those 3 games. The Brewers getting shut out in both losses. Here's manager Pat Murphy.
We hit some balls hard, but we didn't get the big hit when we needed to. We could have scored, a ton of runs. We had a ton of traffic, and it seemed like we just didn't come up with a big hit. Their bullpen did a great job.
The homestand continues for the Brewers, though, as they welcome the Braves and Cardinals into town this week for National League Power matchups.
This has been the Milwaukee Baseball Report on 94.5 ESPN. Brought to you by National Liquor Mart.
Hey there, Brewers fans. We've got a new way for you to watch the Brew Crew this season. FanDuel Sports Network. And now there are more ways to watch the Brewers than ever before. Subscribe directly to FanDuel Sports Network to stream all the action. Or, new this season, Brewers Baseball is now available on Amazon Prime Video as an add-on subscription. You can also access FanDuel Sports Network through TV providers, including DirecTV, Spectrum, Xfinity, Fubo, and more. Visit GetMyHomeTeams.com to learn more.
Hey, this is Gabe Neitzel. You're listening to 94.5 ESPN, WKTI and WKTI HD, Milwaukee.
A locally owned Good Karma brand station.
The bag is packed with the sticks. The drinks are cold. And the scorecard's ready to go. Time to hit the links.
I don't know if you saw the cookie special that they did on Saturday's coverage.
I know the cookies.
the Aaron Hills cookies are legit.
Chicken salad also very good.
It's time to go on the tee.
We're golfers, man. We're weird.
Sponsored by Majestic Oaks at Lake Lawn Resort.
Yeah, I don't care too much about other things outside of golf.
And Gruber Law Offices. One call, that's all.
Hey, let's just make sure we don't do anything really dumb that really opens things up. And she was just steady and solid and wasn't making a ton of mistakes.
Alongside PGA Tour Live, Stephen Watson, here's Gabe Neitzel.
Hour 2 on the tee, our preview of the 125th U.S. Open at Oakmont. Things get underway 5:45 Central Time on Thursday morning. 10th time that Oakmont has hosted, first time since 2016. Scottie Scheffler, the betting favorite, no shock there. Number one player in the world by a mile. Continues to play unbelievable golf since he picked up that PGA championship. Ran away and hid from everybody at the Memorial. He's been playing great. So why should we not pick Scottie Scheffler? Because I feel like we could come up with a million reasons why you should pick Scottie Scheffler this week. Is there any reason that would make you scared to pick Scottie Scheffler? I feel we got to do something different here, Steven. Because, he hits it long. Well, I mean, he hits it long enough. Hits it straight enough. He's the best iron player in the world. Like, all those things travel and usually play just about anywhere.
Meredith pregnant again? I don't know.
Is she?
Does he? No, I'm just saying. Does he stub his toe on his way in?
Fall down some stairs, DJ style.
I mean, it's Scottie, and then there's the field. The way that he's separated himself right now as a player. I mean, strokes gained leaders this year. Total, Scottie. Tee to green, Scottie. Off the tee, Scottie. Approach to the green, Scottie. I think the only thing you could have a knock on him is his putting. He's 25th. And that's still a career high for Scottie Scheffler. And on greens like this, where if he's missing in just the spots that he misses in that set up 2 putts that lead to 3 putts, I mean, that's the only knock on Scottie right now. He drives the ball so straight, and he hits his approaches to the green. His iron play is the best in the world right now. It's hard to think of any other golfer right now beating him on a property like Oakmont that is going to test every aspect of your game, and he's proven that he has found that next level drive to run away with these events.
I guess the one thing I would say that would scare me off of Scottie this week is the way he handled last year in the native areas at Pinehurst. He eliminated himself before that tournament even started. Because before the tournament, he was talking about, yeah, I mean, it's just unfair. I mean, I don't know what kind of lie I'm going to get in there. Sometimes it's good, sometimes it's bad. And he goes T41, which is his worst finish in a major when he's made the cut. That is the worst finish he's made in a major if he made the cut. I mean, again, usually if he's making the cut, he's like top 20. More often than not, it's top 10. It's outrageous.
I'm not trying to justify his complaints, but on number 2, the native areas are very unpredictable. When you're looking at the rough at Oakmont, there's been much rain that grass is thick, it's consistent.
But you might
hit it in the rough, you know what you're getting yourself into. Yeah,
but it could be a good lie, could be a bad lie. But it was just funny to hear him talk like that.
Yeah.
Right?
He's not usually an excuse maker.
Yeah. Like, don't hit it there.
But we've all been there, right? Like, we've all had those rounds where we just couldn't put it together and we try to blame something other than ourselves.
Sure, but this was before the tournament began. he was talking like that.
Yeah, I mean, I think truly
so
the
to
one
me,
thing
like
is that he just
when he said that, it was like when we were talking about guys talking about the par 3 earlier. Okay, well, I guess you crossed Scotty off the list. And I mentioned this earlier. He hasn't had to grind for any of his majors. You're going to have to grind at this one.
Yeah.
Not saying he can't do it. I'm just saying it's the one thing we haven't seen him do. And that's where I would be, okay, that's what would maybe make me back off of it a little bit.
I would argue that he made an incredible comeback on Saturday afternoon at the PGA Championship, and the field crumbled on the test of the Green Mile and coming down the stretch on Sunday. I mean, just because he didn't go out there and go shot to shot with John Rahm or Bryson, I mean, shouldn't be a knock on Scotty Scheffler.
Well, again,
those are the guys who crumbled,
It's just he hasn't had to grind it out for a major championship. Just hasn't
in
had
a
to.
head-to-head format. He's had to grind it. He just hasn't had somebody rise to his moment.
He hasn't won a major on a course where you typically have to grind. Because Augusta, there are plenty of chances to make birdies. Plenty of chances to go out there and make birdies.
He hasn't won a U.S. Open, is what you're saying. That's probably the knock,
Well,
right?
a U.S. Open, obviously an Open Championship, or I mean, I'd have to take a look at the PGA Championship future venues, but those typically are not. They aren't the courses that we see in the U.S. Open. Maybe Baltusrol, Kiawah. Those places I would say are probably, you got to grind it out a little bit more. Birdies are harder to come by because so often on a PGA Tour event or at the Masters, you make a bogey, it's like, okay, I just got to make sure I make birdie on 13 or 15 at Augusta, right? Like, those birdie opportunities are coming. The birdie opportunities are few and far between at Oakmont. So how do you handle making that bogey or that double? Are you going to be able to right the ship? Because we have seen Scotty, even earlier this year, when he wasn't playing as well as he wanted, he would get a little kind of upset. We saw him throw some clubs. And again, not to say that just disqualifies him, but there have been times where the mental toughness has gotten away from him. And the 15th club is the one that's going to be tested the most at this championship.
When I was at Quail Hollow and I walked the front nine with him on Sunday, he was grinding, Gabe. I mean, he bogeyed his first hole. It could have all gone downhill from there. He ended up finishing that front, I think, one over or even, right?
Yeah, I think he was one over.
One over. He came back, and I know it's not the head-to-head grind where he had to match birdies or match pars with another person, but...
And look, it's a major championship you have to execute, but especially
at we never criticized Tiger for running away with his majors.
But he also grinded some out. Like he won in playoffs.
Well, yeah, he's got 15 of them.
Yeah.
So they're not all going to be by 5
strokes. Well, no, but his second one was in a playoff. He won the PGA in 1999. No, excuse me. He won his second PGA in 2000. Won that in a playoff over Bob May. He had to outlast Sergio a little bit in 1999 as well. Yeah, he ran away in 97, and then the first two that he won in 2000.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's a bigger conversation if Scotty's falling on his face on Sundays, but we haven't really seen that, when he's in contention.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like we're searching for why it
until we
shouldn't
get to
be
18.
Scotty.
Until we get to 18. Then he four putts.
I mean, this guy, he hasn't turned in a scorecard with a score worse than 72 this year.
That's going to happen this week.
Yeah. So he'll be tested.
Well, maybe not 72.
72
is two over.
I don't know. I don't know if we'll see that this week.
Yeah, I think 72 is the number. If I say 72 and a half over under, worst score for Scotty this week, are you taking the over or the under? 72 and a half in a single round. What's the worst round he has? Over or under 72 and a half.
I think he shoots a 73 one day.
Okay, so you take the over.
Yeah. I think he'll go like a 68, 73 type of, Thursday, Friday. Gets into the weekend and he's lurking. I mean, do you truly think that there's somebody that... Is it Scotty versus the field, in your opinion?
No. Because I think the top half is just too good. Like, especially because when U.S. Opens get like this, like Bryson's been so good at U.S. Opens. He just has been. So I can't...
And not just any U.S. Opens. I mean, when you want to talk about Bryson.
Oh, yeah. You want to talk about legitimate
he
big
won
boy
at
golf
Winged
course.
Foot and Pinehurst number 2.
Yeah. So that's where Bryson, and he's been playing so well in majors, again, outside of the Open Championship, because more variables come into play typically at the Open. But yeah, I mean, at the U.S. Open, he's been fantastic with his 2 wins. And yeah, this is a place I fully expect Bryson. Again, Bryson's last 6 majors, T6, 2, 1, cut, T5, T2. The cut being last year at the Open.
Yeah.
I mean, him and Scotty have been the preeminent major players over the last year and a half.
I was reading up on Bryson before this show and came across this that I still find mind-blowing. It feels like it can't be true, but it came from, Golf Digest, and I'm going to trust that they're
pretty
right.
reputable.
In his last 8 major starts, he has only lost strokes to the field with his putter or short game once. Everybody talks about Bryson being a bomber, but
well, you know what
he won at Pinehurst because of his putter.
Oh, the weak part of Bryson's game right now is his iron play.
Yeah, 100%.
Like his iron play, because getting up and down and him putting right now, it's dangerous.
Yeah,
it's been really good.
It won him the U.S. Open at Pinehurst.
Yes,
those 2 shots. Truly,
I mean, hitting the most ridiculous bunker shot you could think of, and when you hit it as far as he does, it just gives you such an advantage with these large greens, especially if pins are middle or back, because he's got enough strength to be able to fight through that, get something to a front edge, and have it run out.
Yeah.
And that's how he, again, went to and won at Winged Foot. So as good as Scotty has been, like the top part of it's just too good for me to say Scotty or the field. Because I would have to take the field every time, because the field includes, I know he's not playing well right now, includes Rory, includes Bryson, John Rahm. I think Colin Morikawa is going to have a heck of a chance because of how accurate he can be off the tee and how good his iron play is. That being said, if I were to walk over to our friends at Potawatomi and put a ticket on Colin Morikawa, if he had a lead going into Sunday, I'd be terrified.
So would he.
You could get plus 2,800 on him to win the full tournament.
That's pretty good.
Yeah, I mean, it's very interesting how Scotty has changed the typical golf leaderboard and the odds here. You got Scotty plus 275 and then stiff drop to Bryson at plus 700. And then everyone past that, John Rahm 1,200, Rory 1,400, and Ludwig at 22. And it just keeps going. The implied odds at Scotty plus 275, that means he wins this tournament roughly 26% of the time.
I mean, it's kind of on par with what we've seen the last couple of years.
Honestly,
unbelievable.
Doesn't that seem a little low?
Yeah, truly.
I was trying to come up with reasons not to pick Scotty. Mostly because, again, you go to Pato, the value just doesn't seem like it's there.
We're gonna get to Rory, we're gonna get to Xander, we're gonna get to Rahm. Can we have just like a quick? I know we have to get to break. Can we have a quick conversation about Ludwig?
Yeah.
Are you a believer? Because he has shown me absolutely nothing this year after winning at Torrey Pines.
I'm selling the stock for this year. Long term, I'm still a believer. I think he's just dealing with whatever reason, because he got really sick. Like, he was one of those guys that the first time that they were at Torrey for the Farmers, it's still the Farmers, right? They don't have a new sponsor?
It's still Farmers.
Okay, that one's still Farmers. Yeah. The first time they were there, because obviously they ended up playing the Genesis there this year as well. Like, he was one of the people who got really sick for whatever reason, that whatever bug was going around, and maybe I'm just making excuses for him. But it seems like, yeah, for whatever reason, he did really well at Torrey and just hasn't been able to put it together since. But he just drives it too long and too straight, and his iron play is too good not for that to eventually start rising. So I don't know what's going on, and I don't like him this week, but I like him going forward.
Yeah.
Just because the raw skills are just too good not for him not to, I'm not saying he's going to win 5 majors, but not to pick off 1 or 2.
It was just interesting. He goes 7th at the Masters. He loves playing there, but he can't play in any other major outside of Augusta. And he goes out, RBC Heritage, tied for 54th. Truist, tied 60th. That's essentially last place among those who made it to it was a signature event with no cuts.
With no cut.
So one of the final back end of the field, there were only 70 players, 69 actually, when it was all said and done.
Nice.
PGA Championship, cut. Memorial, tied for 16th. Canadian Open, T13, but it's still a full field event. Not going to put too much stock into that. I just feel like this is a guy who maybe we are the problem with Ludwig. Like, we set our expectations too high for him. The way that he came out of the gates, he was on a Ryder Cup team before he played in a major, and it's really hard to win. I mean, I always joke that this guy was built in AI. He has the strengths of like every type of golfer. If you're trying to build somebody on Tiger Woods 2K, it's like, he kind of looks like Ludwig.
If you would have asked me going into this season, who would you trust, a robot or him testing a golf ball or golf club? Yeah, I'm going to test him.
Yeah.
Like, I would test like the real person, because that's, to your point, he just was so robotic and just seemed so automatic. But I think we also have to remember that even though he's a little bit older because he went through all 4 years of college, this is his 7th major ever. Ever.
At 25.
Yeah. This is the 7th time he's ever appeared in a major championship. So, again, you take a look at, and Scotty qualified for some as an amateur. But if I'm saying, okay, Scotty, his first 7, I mean, even as a pro, it ends up kind of being lopsided because he just became so good so fast. But it takes time to play in the major championships, especially, you know, again, Augusta, maybe that's a place that for whatever reason fit his eye right out of the gates.
Like, I think of some of the greats that we've had in the last decade.
Yeah.
Rory burst onto the scene.
Yep.
Spieth burst onto the scene. Even Colin burst on the scene. Got his 2 majors right out of the gates. Scotty burst onto the scene. And then it was like, Ludwig's like, oh, just wait till you see this guy tee it up.
Isn't that what happened with Xander?
Yeah, maybe that's the best comp. I think that's a fair way of kind of looking at it. And I don't doubt that Ludwig's going to go out there and win a major, maybe win a couple. But I feel like he's plateaued, maybe even regressed since last year.
I also think of somebody like Bryson. And Bryson was different just because of the single-length irons and everything that, you know, he was just, and again, as we've learned, the longer he's been a professional, he's just a different dude. But I feel like Bryson popping onto the scene, oh, man, well, look out for this guy.
Yeah, I mean, he won the amateur.
Yeah.
He was different in his personality, how he approached the game. Now his personality is completely different, but he was always the science experiment around the game.
It took him 3 years to win his first major, and then it took him 4 years after that to win his second. And now he's been a top 10 machine in majors. But sometimes it just, for different guys, it takes a little bit longer.
It's hard.
It is really hard. And
I would have guessed that Ludwig would have one by now. It's kind of where I'm at.
Oh, I thought he'd win one of his first 6. That's where you're at?
Yeah.
You thought he'd win. And again, maybe that's just because the hype was all around that, and he's hit some struggles this year. Yeah, I'd sell my short-term stock. Like, I don't think he's picking off this U.S. Open at Oakmont. I don't think he's going to win the Open.
So keep him like Apple. Like, you just expect it's just going to collect over time.
It's going to collect over time. You're going to be collecting dividends, and you're going to be feeling really good at some point, especially when he sticks it to Team USA in the Ryder Cup this year.
Oh, gosh.
Because you know that's going to happen.
We're not going there.
Because you know.
Let me have my fun with it's the United States Open
You're
this
the one.
week.
You're the one who opened the door. I blame you.
You already took your shot with the Europe group that I brought out of the gates of Rory, Lowry, and Rose.
Yeah, it's a quarter of Team Europe.
I'm starting to think that you're flipping. I don't like where you're headed here, Gabe.
I was just what? Being accused of being a traitor? Is that what's going on right now?
He's a spy.
I'm just happened to notice that a quarter of the European squad is, in one
We're
team.
aware they're good, they're deep, they're probably going to win, but we don't need to talk about it the week of the United States Open.
All right, how about we talk about this? You can discover a hidden lakeside course in beautiful Delavan, Wisconsin at Majestic Oaks. Stephen and I had an opportunity coming up here on a future show. You'll hear our conversation, and we'll talk about our time at Majestic Oaks. But it was a lot of fun. We had a ton of fun going down there where you could tee off on a course with over 2 miles of lakefront where wide fairways and challenging greens await. So I've read that a bunch. The challenging greens part's no joke. Some of them are small, and they've just got these humps literally right in the middle of the green that you've got to navigate. It's fun, but it's so much fun.
Yeah. Good views over Lake Delavan as well. Those greens are no joke.
No, they're not.
Thought I was playing Pebble for a second.
What's going on with this big? I thought it hit a good shot into the par, one of their signature holes, the par 5 third. I was in the back of the green. That's not where you want to be. had to put it up over a ridge. You can join them for the best family golf nights in the state, and this is where I think they really separate themselves as well. Everyone can enjoy the game together and enjoy golf cart, drinks, and snacks for under $15 per person. If you're ready to play, book your tee time today. LakeLawnResort.com with Majestic Oaks Golf Course.
Back to the course and on the tee with Gabe and Steven after this on 94.5 ESPN. You remember the moments from that magical March.
Side Decker, it's a three. Got it!
On June 26th, celebrate the squad with Made 'em Believe, a special night with Bo Ryan, Frank Kaminsky, and Sam Decker.
Here's Kaminsky, the drop stab, that's his favorite. And the two.
Presented by Bud Light, Michelob Ultra, Potosi Varsity Ale, and Potosi Hard Seltzer. Tickets are on sale now at UWHoops2015.com. Made 'em Believe, June 26th at the Orpheum Theater in Madison.
With 18 unforgettable holes on 250 acres of natural private land, the Bog provides the ultimate golf experience. To book your next tee time, call 262-284-7075 or visit golfthebog.com. Enjoy golf. Enjoy the Bog.
Hi, I'm Brittany Miller from Big Frog Custom T-Shirts and more. Custom T-shirts, sweatshirts, jackets, hats, you name it, we can do it. Big Frog Custom T-Shirts and more is family owned and all about celebrating life's big moments. Maybe it's a milestone birthday, a celebration for your child's first goal, or that work fundraising event. We are everyone's printer. No minimum orders, affordable designs, and help straight from me and our team. We're the one-stop shop for all your custom needs. Start your project today at bigfrog.com/Mequon.
Set sail this June for a boundless bounty at Potawatomi. Come aboard, and you might win a share of $300,000 in cash and prizes. Just play with your rewards card for entries. Prize drawings on Thursdays. Boundless Bounty this June at Potawatomi Casino Hotel, Milwaukee. Your win is waiting. More info online. Must be 21 and a rewards member to play.
You're back at the gym. Your new gym outfit? On point. Your new sneakers? Baller. You've got this. Just like Associated Bank's got you with Access Checking. It's maintenance fee free with no minimum balance requirements. So when you take your first yoga class in 10 months, your body might surprise you, but your checking account won't. You've got this with Access Checking from Associated Bank. See associatedbank.com/checking or ask a banker for details. Member FDIC.
Buying a new roof might not be the most exciting thing you'll do this year, but for us at Big Fish Contracting, being chosen to do that roof for you not only provides income for multiple families in southeastern Wisconsin, but has a global reach and impact around the world. To us, it's more than just a roof. We've been earning trust for over 2 decades, roofing, siding, windows, and more. Go to bigfishcontracting.com to learn how Big Fish is renovating homes and redeeming an industry.
Gear up for Quick Trip's Mountain Dew Quick Climb. Now through August 17th. Play free daily in the Quick Rewards app and earn bonus plays with every eligible purchase. Grab one with hot food. That's 2 bonus plays. Each week, the cash prize climbs by $5,000, all the way to a $250,000 grand prize. So open the app and get climbing. Your summer, your climb, your win. No purchase necessary. Open to U.S. residents residing in Illinois, Iowa, Minnesota, Michigan, South Dakota, North Dakota, or Wisconsin. Ends August 17th. Bonus plays require qualifying purchase. See full rules at quicktrip.com/sweepstakes.
Hey, it's Kyle Walsh, and if you're a homeowner like me, you know how it goes. There's always a project that needs attention, and sometimes the big ones, like replacing old windows, get pushed to the bottom of the list. But I'm telling you, this is the time to finally check that box with Universal Windows Direct. They're running their home improvement season sale, and the offer is just too good to pass up. You can get payments as low as $99 a month or no payments and no interest for an entire year. Call 414-410-2000 or go to universalwindowsdirect.com.
Earth Justice is a national legal nonprofit fighting to save lives, protect our climate, and strengthen our economy through the shift to zero emissions. Visit us at earthjustice.org. Earth Justice, because the earth needs a good lawyer.
You're listening to On the Tee with Gabe Neitzel and Stephen Watson on 94.5 ESPN.
Interesting stat that I just stumbled across from Shane Bacon on Twitter. 5 of the last 6 U.S. Open winner champions, or the U.S. Open champions at Oakmont, first-time major winners when they won. Jack in 62, Johnny in 73, Ernie in 94, Angel in 07, and DJ in 16. Now, again, all those players would obviously go on to become multiple major champions. But, man, does that bode for a first-time major winner like Ludwig, like Victor Hovland, Tyrrell Hatton, someone of that ilk?
There's a name you haven't mentioned. Take her cap off.
What?
Patrick Cantlay.
I'm not betting on Patrick Cantlay. You kidding me?
He actually has really good numbers at past U.S. Opens.
But he hasn't had good numbers at all this year. Been bad. He's been pretty bad this week. Or bad this year.
I don't know.
What about, so Jon Rahm is a two-time major winner. And it had been a while since we heard from him. And he flamed out spectacularly. So, years from now when we go back and look at Jon Rahm's major record, unless you specifically remember him making a run on Sunday, the final result's not going to look great.
Yeah, he was 5 over on his final 3 holes.
Yeah,
Right?
Yeah. Bogey double-double. That'll get you.
Yeah.
So, it's one of those situations where it was good to hear from him. It was good to see him. Do you think that is a good sign of things to come or just a flash?
I think that Rahm has enough raw talent to be in contention for years to come. I found his press conference to be rather enlightening that he had ahead of this U.S. Open and the transparency he spoke about with the competition at LIV and how his numbers might be a little inflated there with his current streak now.
Let's go ahead and listen.
I think 19 consecutive top 10s.
I believe he's always finished in the top. Every event he's ever played in LIV, he's finished in the top 10. And that gets thrown out there by every LIV bot that you could possibly see. Anytime Jon Rahm goes, well, he's always finished in the top 10, finishes in the top 10. But here's what he had to say about that streak during his presser.
Listen, I'm a realist in this case. I've been playing really good golf, yes, but I'll be lying if I said that it wasn't easier to have top 10s with a smaller field. That's just the truth, right? Had I been playing full field events, would I have top 10 every single week? No. I would have most likely been inside the top 30 every single time, and maybe even top 25, which for 21 straight tournaments, I'll say that's pretty good. As much as I want to give it credit personally for having that many top 10s, I wouldn't always give it as the full amount, just knowing that it's a smaller field.
He's a realist, which is great. Also, his major demise may have been greatly exaggerated because when I look at his page, there's still a lot of yellow here. So after winning at Augusta for a second major in 2023, T50 at the PGA, not great. T10 at the U.S. Open, T2 at the Open. Last year, T45 was cut at the PGA, and then if you remember last year, he did not play at Pinehurst. Had a foot injury. He was dealing with a foot injury, so he did not play. Then was T7 at the Open, T14 at the Masters, T8 at the PGA.
Yeah, so his last 3 are all top 15s.
Uh-huh. Yeah. I mean, again,
and his 8th at the PGA was really his second or third.
His U.S. Open record since 2019. T3, T23, first, T12, T10. It's a pretty good U.S. Open record as well.
Yeah. Rombo could go out there and win this thing.
Yeah,
it's certainly not something that would be surprising for any of us.
Again, it was great to see him there. He's probably got to putt it a little bit better than he has been. There were a couple of really just, where they get down in the worm cam when he was putting for birdie on the short par 4 14th at Quail Hollow. Here comes a birdie. Oh, what was that?
Yeah,
I didn't even scare the hole. So you're gonna have to be better than that at Oakmont. I think if he cleans up the putting, because he was driving the ball pretty well all weekend at Quail.
And his win at the U.S. Open came at Torrey. And
yeah.
I know the weather is very different at Torrey than what you're going to see at Oakmont just from the wind coming off of, the water down in San Diego. But when you think about kind of the design of a U.S. Open golf course, Oakmont, Torrey have similar vibes of the thick, rough. If you miss, you're going to barely be able to find your golf ball. A premium on hitting fairways. And, Rombo has always been a great driver of the golf ball. So if he's able to find fairways, it sounds so silly to just keep talking about you got to find the fairway and you got to hit greens. That's going to, put you in contention at a lot of golf tournaments. But this week in particular, it's a must.
But it's not even finding greens. It's finding the right part of greens.
Yeah.
Because the greens, some of them just can be so massive. And when the fairways are 18 yards wide.
Yeah.
I think it's worth continuously harping on. But he's also one of those guys that can be a little bit longer and can be, because he's such a bigger guy, fight the ball and, hack it out of the rough and advance it more than most can.
Yeah, and I think he's got that bulldog mentality. I think he's got that X factor that we talk about needing on this property in particular. I have John Rahm as number 4 on my personal rankings.
Oh, the Stephen Watson power rankings?
Yeah, just prepping for the show, just trying to make my pick.
All right, well, we're going to get the rest of the Stephen Watson power ranking. I didn't even know there was a Stephen Watson power rankings. It's a power rankings Tuesday.
Yeah, why not? Gotta have some fun. I got a great dark horse for you too.
Okay, so Stephen Watson's power rankings plus his dark horse coming your way next. But I do want to tell you about our friends at X Golf at American Family Field. There's watching the Brewers, and then there's watching while golfing at X Golf inside American Family Field. Book a sim bundle for $70 per person, or go big with the Sim Double Play for $50 per person. That includes game ticket, 2 premium sims, and seating for your group, just 22 people minimum. Prices are crazy low. Group options are endless. Plus, regulars can grab the $100 season membership for 50% off sim time all season long. Book your game day at X Golf inside American Family Field. Open to the public 7 days a week.
No ifs, ands, or puts. There's more On the Tee with Gabe and Steven coming up on 94.5 ESPN.
The Home Depot has fast, free delivery on the perfect gift to help Dad do more this Father's Day. Because Dad is more than just a dad. He's groundskeeper of the yard, the perfecter of the patio, and the cleaner of the clippings. Power Dad's doing with Ryobi cordless outdoor power tools from the Home Depot. Like the Ryobi 40-volt string trimmer kit for $159. For everything Dad is, find the perfect gift at the Home Depot. Subject to availability, see homedepot.com/delivery for more details.
Teams are battling for the championship, and there's no better place to get in on the intensity than ESPN Bet. Go from tracking the latest game-changing moments to placing bets in just a few taps. Right now, new customers can get $100 in bonus bets when you make your first $10 wager. Download the ESPN Bet Sportsbook app and sign up with promo code USL to get started today. Must be 21 plus. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. Terms and conditions apply. See app for details. Offer not available in New York.
Milwaukee just got hotter. Announcing the buys of summer at Ewald Automotive Group. Get the lowest prices guaranteed on new vehicles. We'll beat your best price by $500, or we'll pay you $500 cash. Guaranteed. With over 1,500 vehicles to choose, you're sure to find the perfect ride for your family. 11 brands, 10 locations, one easy experience. Don't miss Ewald's Buys of Summer sales event going on now. Go to EwaldAuto.com. See dealer for details. Expires month end.
Hey, this is Mike from Infinity Exteriors. Buying a roof, siding, or windows can feel overwhelming. Hidden costs, confusing contracts. We don't play that game. We educate you so you can decide. And when you know the facts, Infinity Exteriors is the clear choice. Since 1997, we've installed peace of mind with no surprise upcharges, flexible budgets, and immediate financing. Infinity Exteriors, saving our communities from unscrupulous contractors. Visit infinityexteriors.com.
At Great Impressions Graphics and Printing, they've been proudly serving the community for over 26 years. From their location at the corner of 54th and Burleigh in Milwaukee, their dedication to quality and customer satisfaction has made them a trusted name in printing and design. Great Impressions offer a wide range of services, including banners, posters, yard signs, business cards, programs, and postcards. Plus, they specialize in custom apparel printing, perfect for family reunions, sports outings, business promotions, and more. For your next project, visit greatimpress.com. That's greatimpress.com. Great Impressions. They're here when you need them.
Great impressions, perceptions, everything.
Looking for a totally rad flavor adventure, brochachos? Look no further than Surfer Boy Pizza as seen in Stranger Things. Each mouth-watering variety contains rich tomato sauce, delicious mozzarella cheese, and a gnarly range of toppings. The crust is crispy on the outside and airy on the inside. You'll think it was hand-tossed by the Surfer Boy Pizza dudes themselves. Look for it in the freezer aisle at your local store and buckle up your taste buds with Surfer Boy Pizza.
From the biggest stars to the greatest moments, Behind the Bucks is Bucks history like you've never heard it before. Go behind the scenes of the Emmy-nominated Giannis documentary. Get the real story of the blockbuster trade for Damian Lillard. Hear the origin of Bucks in 6. It's all on Behind the Bucks on the Bucks Plus audio network, presented by Gallagher, your trusted insurance broker and HR and benefits consultant. Available now on bucks.com/plus, the Bucks app, and wherever you get podcasts.
4, it's On the Tee with Gabe Neitzel and Stephen Watson on 94.5 ESPN.
Josh and Heartland chimed in on the Carbless Talking text line around the conversation of, okay, how does Scotty not win this? Well, maybe he gets arrested again. Maybe Scotty gets arrested.
I'll tell you what.
I mean, there is a highway right by, maybe he's speeding. There's a highway that goes right past the golf course.
I'm a Philadelphia native. I've been pulled over many times on 76, the turnpike out there. And while there is a bridge between the property that goes over the highway, Josh might be onto something.
All right. Something to keep
they
an eye
are
on.
ruthless in Pennsylvania on the highways.
Yeah?
Don't be turning into any...
Worse than Rosenblatt? Or, excuse me, Rosendale? Rosenblatt. Got college baseball in my mind. Are you aware of the... So you're not aware of Rosendale?
No.
Josh, when I say Rosendale, do you know what I'm talking about?
It's famous for its speed trap, is it not?
Yeah, famous for its speed trap. So if you're somebody who goes from Madison up to Green Bay, chances are you're going to cut through on Rosendale trying to get up to 41.
Got it.
In Rosendale, if you're going 26... Look out.
Oh.
Let's say they support their economy with with
the state troopers in Pennsylvania hide in the hills. And that's how they get you. Yeah, they're nasty out there.
Just got to be careful. All right, Scotty, be careful. Maybe get a driver this week.
Why don't more players have drivers?
Because they give you a car.
Have the caddy drive.
I was about to say, have the caddy drive.
Yeah, but you're like, hey, this car, I get to drive it. It's not mine. Don't need to worry about it.
Until you do.
Yeah, well, it was unprecedented.
It's a good point. Good point. It's not like it was happening regularly.
Yeah.
All right. First time for everything type situation. All right, we got to get to it.
Maybe Bennett has a blowout, gets pink eye or something. I don't know. Maybe that's what could take Scotty down.
I mean, if Bennett gets pink eye, then I'm assuming they're renting a house. He just sends Meredith and Bennett to a hotel, right?
I don't know.
Can't be trying to win a U.S. Open with pink eye. Just tough to do.
You never know with toddlers. They can get you sick.
All right, here we go.
He's got to fight through it, Gabe. Fight through some pink eye.
See if he's grinder. Stephen Watson, unbeknownst to me, has a power rankings.
Oh, we're throwing music on it?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Have you never listened to this?
What number are we starting with?
How many you got?
Let me give you my top 5.
Okay. All right.
Start at 5, please.
Okay. Or do you want me to start with my dark horses?
We got honorable mentions. Yeah, start with the honorable mentions.
I got 2 honorable mentions.
Okay.
2 guys I love. If you're heading over to Potawatomi,
all right,
place a bet. Gabe's going to hate me for one of them. I did this at Augusta, and I'm going to do it again because until his final round at Augusta, he was in the hunt. Love Shane Lowry this week. 54-hole leader at the 2016 U.S. Open at Oakmont by 4 strokes. Ended up giving that lead away to DJ. So if he can figure it out on Sunday, we just saw Shane again in contention in Canada over the weekend. He has top 10s at Copperhead, Bay Hill, Philly Cricket, and Pebble. I mean, those are some of the toughest tracks in the U.S. So
Playing good golf.
I like Shane Lowry this weekend. I love Keegan Bradley.
What?
Love Keegan Bradley to find himself in contention this week. His
Okay.
last 3 top 10s, kind of similar to Shane Lowry. At Bay Hill, tied for 5th. Quail Hollow, tied for 8th. And Muirfield, tied for 7th. That's his last 3 top 10s.
The Muirfield, again,
He
you can
has
talk
8
me.
top 20s this year, Gabe.
You can talk me into the
Captain
Muirfield.
Keegan's going to be playing for Team USA in the fall.
I mean,
plus 550 if you want to bet on him to finish in the top 10 at Potawatomi.
Okay.
Here's what he's done since 2019 in the U.S. Open. You ready? Cut, did not qualify. T7, cut, T32.
We're trending right now,
Seems like
Gabe.
he's due.
But he has never been
Maybe-
motivated to make his own Ryder Cup team. That's all I'm saying. All right, coming in at number 5 on my power rankings is the number 2 player in the world. I have Rory McIlroy in at number 5.
Didn't fall out of the top 5.
No.
A lot of drama, driver drama.
Well, if he was playing the QI35, I would have had him outside the top 5. But Rory's going back to the Q10. We saw video and picture images of Rory going back to the driver that won him Augusta. And I think that Rory is motivated. He's had some time off to decompress. He's coming off of his worst performance, his first missed cut since last year's Open. At the Canadian Open, he's still a guy who won at Pebble, the Players, and Augusta. You don't just fully lose that this quickly, Gabe.
I mean, it's... So for those who are wondering why Steven mentioned the model of the driver, Rory was dodgy about it when he was asked about it in his press conference because these equipment companies spend a lot of money in marketing and they want their guys that they have signed under contract to play the new stuff, the current one that they're marketing, the one that costs, the most money. If you happen to go to a pro shop or Golf Galaxy or PGA Tour Superstore, that's the one they want these guys to play.
Yeah, they want you to use the brand new stinking material.
Yes. And
Problem is TaylorMade does this every 4 months with new clubs.
Well, Rory apparently does not. There's something about the QI35 he just does not like. I tried playing with it last week, did not work, as you mentioned, just flamed out spectacularly at the Canadian Open. So he's back to the QI10, which is the model driver that he had, which failed prior to the PGA.
In Rory's defense, hasn't that driver tested poorly for most TaylorMade drivers in recent history? Like in comparison
The
to
QI35,
the
yeah. Mhm.
Yes.
Yeah.
So it's not like he's just being stubborn. There's enough data points to point to something not
See,
being
and
right.
for whatever reason, TaylorMade's always kind of done this. Like, the Sim was better than the Sim 2.
Yeah.
The Stealth was better than the Stealth 2. QI10 was better than the QI35.
I mean, it's like a bad sequel in movies. Right?
It's a lesser version.
But you still paid the money to go see the sequel.
Yeah.
And here we sit.
So he was asked about it in his press conference. He's like, well, you just have to see when I'm playing on the range. Like, he didn't want to say out loud that he was playing QI10, the QI10, because he knows that TaylorMade would be upset.
He ranked 142nd in the field in Canada in driving last week.
Woof.
This is a guy who all year has been number 1 in the field in driving. I have Rory at 5. I have John Rahm coming in at number 4.
Okay.
Trending, we talked about that. I have Bryson DeChambeau at number 3. The defending U.S. Open champion. He has wins at Wingfoot. He has wins at Pinehurst number 2.
I know who number 1 is. I'm confused about who number 2 is.
Number 2, I feel good about Xander right now.
Really?
He's made every cut this year.
Yeah.
I know he hasn't had a Xander season. He won 2 majors last year, but he still has made every single cut this year. But here is the statistic about Xander Schauffele that has me feeling really good about him this week at Oakmont. He's never missed a cut at the U.S. Open. His first U.S. Open was right here in Wisconsin at Erin Hills. He finished 5th. He's added 6 more top 10s in his 7 starts since then. His
Very good
worst
US Open
finish
player.
at a U.S. Open, what do you think it is?
T24.
Tied for 14th. That is Xander Schauffele's worst finish
he's
at
always
a
been-
U.S. Open.
He's always been in the top 15? It's insane.
Here's another Justin Ray stat for you on Xander Schauffele.
These are the best.
He's finished inside the top 15 at 8 straight years at the U.S. Open. There are only 2 longer streaks since World War II.
Of top 15s at Open, U.S. Opens? Jack's got to be 1.
With 12, that is the longest streak. He did it from 1971 to 1982.
I don't think Tiger was top 15 all the time, was he?
We're talking
Is it Johnny?
Sam Snead.
Oh, even older.
1947 and 1955. That's the category that Xander finds himself.
Going right up to post-World War II.
I did find something interesting to hear from Potawatomi. Xander, strangely, despite not having the highest odds and Ludwig having similar odds at plus 120 to top 20, Xander's even money. They're basically telling you, yeah, this is likely to happen because this is what he continually does. And the only one that's even similar is another guy you're not going to be shocked to hear, Colin Morikawa, plus 105.
Yeah, I'm a little surprised not to see Colin in your top 5 and Xander in.
Yeah, I'm telling you, Xander's close again to winning. And I think it's a course fit. He is a sneaky bomber. And he hits the ball. His iron play is his strength. I'll tell you right now, I'm going to go on the record. I'm going to do it. My Gruber Law Office's one call. That's all
doing
pick.
It earlier. Doing it early here.
Is Xander Schauffele.
Whoa! He was fighting for Scotty. He was asking Scotty or the field earlier. I feel like he was trying to rope-a-dope me there. Joshy, he was trying to get me to take Scotty so he could just come in with the quick right hook.
Scotty is, I think, our joint pick.
If Scotty's not going to win it, then Xander's
I'm
winning
going
it.
to go Xander. And obviously, in great detail, we've talked about the run that Scotty Scheffler has been on. His last 4, 3 wins and a tie for 4th. Scotty Scheffler is the smart pick to win this thing. I just like Xander.
I want him playing just a little bit better. I hope you're right. I think it's
took
interesting.
a little while for Scotty to get off of his ravioli incident, taking Xander a little while to get off of his, hand injury. It was a hand or wrist?
Thumb, yeah.
Thumb, yeah, his thumb. We've seen that Xander can win at this level in major championships.
And honestly, it's kind of loosened him up. He's a lot more interesting to listen to. I know the tone of voice, like he's a low talker. He's kind of quiet. But that sound we played earlier about him, it's just a golf hole. Who cares, guys? Just go out and play the hole. But he has winning those majors last year has opened up. I think the golf world's in a better spot when he's winning, and it's more interesting. But our gem of the week, by the way, brought to you by the Jewelry Center. Steven's top 5 there. His top 5, that's certainly our gem of the week. Brought to you by the Jewelry Center. If you're in the market for a diamond engagement ring, make sure you shop online, shoptjc.com. Check them out in Greenfield, Brookfield, or in Burlington. Make sure you tell them that On the Tee sent you.
I'm ready for your pick coming up next.
All right, I will give my Gruber Lofts' one call. That's all. Who is winning the 125th U.S. Open? That is next.
Forget about changing that dial. More On the Tee with Gabe and Steven next on 94.5 ESPN. The Packers and Jair Alexander are no more.
Is this going to be the case where we're going to look back and say, man, did Green Bay really screw up by cutting Jair Alexander?
You don't release a guy like Jair unless you feel comfortable at that position. Now, are they good enough is a whole different debate.
94.5 ESPN is your home for all Packers off-season news. Stay up to date on the new ESPN Wisconsin app or at ESPN Milwaukee on YouTube.
Dr. Aaron Holtebeck and his team at Holtebeck Eye Center make vision care a top priority. They are your premium provider for eye care and corrective eye surgeries. Dr. Holtebeck has been helping local patients with their eye care needs for over 20 years. Dr. Nausheen Abbas joined the Holtebeck Eye Center team last September, and her practice philosophy is to provide patient-centered medicine by giving all options. Located in Brookfield near the corner of Calhoun and Capitol. Learn more about their services at holtebeck.com.
Hey, this is Brad Nortman, here to tell you about my friends at Bank 5-9. Everywhere I go throughout the area, I see Bank 5-9, and it's no wonder why. Not only do they have 14 branch locations, but their employees spend nearly 9,000 hours each year volunteering in the communities that they serve. That's on top of the financial support that they provide to several hundred nonprofits right here in southeastern Wisconsin. If you're looking for a true local community bank. Check them out today at bank59.com. Member FDIC.
Kevin Morat, Mentality founder here with a wake-up call. You're running on fumes, gentlemen. Just 1/3 of the free testosterone you need. That's why you're drained, defeated, and disgusted with your progress. But here's the truth. Mentality doctors specialize in epic comebacks. Our clients show an increase of 30% testosterone levels within the first month. We don't just treat men, we reignite lives. Just imagine the focus, energy, and drive being restored. Your comeback starts now. Don't wait. Make this your best year yet. Start today at mentalityhealth.com/radio.
Summertime is the time for all the big events. Weddings, milestone birthdays, even corporate events. Elevate every event with Noble Catering, a premier craft caterer in southeastern Wisconsin, preferred by over 30 venues. Noble Catering is also the exclusive caterer of Villa Terrace, an East Side event treasure. And coming in 2026, Noble's new headquarters, a 400-person event venue in the heart of Bayview called Brixton's Turn. Book them for your event at noblecateringco.com.
Gear up for Quick Trip's Mountain Dew Quick Climb. Now through August 17th. Play free daily in the Quick Rewards app and earn bonus plays with every eligible purchase. Grab one with hot food. That's 2 bonus plays. Each week, the cash prize climbs by $5,000, all the way to a $250,000 grand prize. So open the app and get climbing. Your summer, your climb, your win. No purchase necessary. Open to U.S. residents residing in Illinois, Iowa, Minnesota, Michigan, South Dakota, North Dakota, or Wisconsin. Ends August 17th. Bonus plays require qualifying purchase. See full rules at quicktrip.com/sweepstakes.
Why is life better with American Family Insurance? Because every policy comes with something very special. A trusted agent who's there to help protect your dreams by finding the right coverage at the right price. Save up to 23% when you bundle home and auto. American Family Insurance. Get a quote and find an agent at amfam.com.
Products not available in every state. Visit amfam.com to learn how discounts may apply to you. American Family Mutual Insurance Company, SI, and its operating company, 6000 American Parkway, Madison, Wisconsin.
It's a home run! But wait, is your roof ready for the big league storms? If your roof has more holes than a catcher's mitt, it's time to bring in the pros. At Avondale Roofing, we've been handling leaks, repairs, and full replacements with major league precision for over 30 years. And as a GAF Master Elite certified contractor, we bring top-tier quality and proven performance to every job. Whether it's a quick patch-up or full upgrade, our team steps up to the plate and knocks it out of the park every time. You're out! Don't wait till water's in your dugout. Call Avondale Roofing today and keep your home in the win column.
This is On the Tee with Gabe Neitzel and Stephen Watson on 94.5 ESPN.
Before I make my Gruber Lofts' one call, that's all pick. Joshie DiMaggio has been along producing our shows when we have these special Open, U.S. Open major championship shows. And Joshie, I do want to give you a moment to shine because you have been impressed with some of the techniques that the grounds crew and USGA staff have been using to mow the lawn out at out at Oakmont.
As a lawn care enthusiast myself, to see the army of people they sent out with their lawnmowers was just beautiful. It was just, there was a level of synchronicity and a level of harmony amongst all those men coming together to make sure the roughs are perfect. We just need to watch it and just listen to the beautiful hum. Now, it's not so great if you're just listening. There's 50 guys.
It's almost like there's again, because usually when you see lawn mowing at a golf course, it is
a guy.
It's one guy on a big machine.
Yes.
These
Yeah.
are all the push
Hand
mowers.
mowers.
Yeah.
And we got guys doing yoga trying to bend around some of these.
The bunkers.
Yeah. And also with today's technology and drones, I mean, I've never watched drone videos of guys mowing grass until this U.S. Open, and I've watched every second of every one of them. It's an art form.
Yeah, well, first of all, in the video, if you weren't watching on the YouTube stream that Josh just played, it's almost like they were like a marching band, in sync. Like the way that the
It was like an Olympic sport.
Yeah, like synchronized lawn mowing. The one picture that you're talking about where they're trying to go around the bunker and the guy has his hand on the handle of the mower and then on the engine of the mower.
Yeah, I would have lost a finger for sure.
Can't recommend that for at home. Like that's professionals only.
OSHA's not happy after viewing that. I can tell you that much, and neither, I'm sure, are the manufacturers of said lawnmowers. That is not for the intended use.
Josh, we need video, and we need a video yesterday of you attempting that move.
No, I don't want Josh to be missing work.
It's for the content.
Yeah, and then he files the workman's comp claim, and Craig's unhappy with us.
We'll bring him out to Wisconsin Country Club. We'll see how low he can get. Use both hands properly around one of the bunkers.
And then did you see there was a separate video of guys with literal scissors, like cutting the fringe around the green?
Yeah, those tools were different.
Yeah. Well, it wasn't a scissors. It was kind of more of like a hair buzzer, I guess.
Yes, it was like a handheld shear.
Yeah.
That you would see. But yeah, they were putting a fade on the fringe.
Yeah.
That's the next step for you, Josh. You got to get one of those, start putting a fade on your lawn.
I'm proud of myself in my edging techniques. I did it over the weekend. I don't have the fade, which might be something I need to add there. From the sidewalk up the lawn. Whew, what a touch. Whew.
Well, building off that, Gabe, I know I already picked Xander, but I hope that my second Gruber Law Office's one call that's all pick is the golf course. I want to see carnage this week at Oakmont, but who are you picking to win?
I've tried to talk myself into a number of different people, whether that's Bryson, whether that's John Rahm, but I just keep coming back to Scotty, man.
Like you're going to do it? You got me.
Yeah, look, I don't want to do it. I want to do something more exciting than picking Scotty Scheffler, but you have to drive it straight. Okay. Oh, you have to have really good iron play. Okay. And it's almost like Augusta where it feels like everyone's going to putt not great. Like there's a level of poorness that everybody's going to hit because the greens are so big and sloped and fast. So, yeah,
Could you imagine that he might go from winning the PGA to the U.S. Open? Talk about a career Grand Slam all in a few months.
KBN coming up next.
Hey there, Brewers fans. We've got a new way for you to watch the Brew Crew this season.